yelling at the stage. It's an intellectual fucking salon. What's wrong with you people? We're not screwing around here at the show. We're gonna give you guys a good show no matter how many people are out in the audience. And remember that if no one shut up, we would still do the show to a completely empty house. And yes, we have done it before. It's a little perverse. It's kind of weird for the first hour or two, but then we get used to it. And so actually, if no one comes, what we do is we actually move the stage in front of the mirror, and we just go ahead.
Yay! It's like radio.
Yeah, hey. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and change gears. We're gonna change the music. We look to space. These are the monologues of the astrologist Pete Goldie. Holy.
Concentrate. Just concentrate more. Make that your New Year's resolution. Concentration. Say you decided to look at the entire Milky Way, where we live, our galaxy, in the infrared. There you go. Yes.
It kind of looks like a muffin a little bit up close.
A muffin? What? Do you like wake up with your face in a muffin often? The researchers have noticed that the outer blast wave, shown in blue, is moving at 11 million miles per hour, which is much slower than they expected. 11 million miles an hour is slower than they expected. And the only way they explain that is there's an energy loss because of the difference between the electrons, which are accelerated at high energies. They're actually traveling backwards and forwards across the shock front, produced by the blast wave. The electrons traveling around the magnetic fields in the shock lose energy, and they produce the synchrotron emission, which causes the glowing, which we see in the X-rays. And then there's another feature about this, which is the flickering of the blue synchrotron emission, which is seen in time scales of about a year. And the flickering is thought to be a direct result of acceleration of particles to high energies, causing the emission to be brighter, followed by rapid cooling, causing emissions to fade. These variations provide clues as to the location of the acceleration, which has been some topic of controversy. Oh, by the way, for the first time, they have seen this flaring in the outer blast wave. This press has cast some doubt upon the possibility, since previously the cosmic ray acceleration occurs in the so-called reverse shock. That is the shock that travels backwards into the expanding remnant, is therefore located now at the outer part of the blast wave. The previous planes of flaring and flares and the reverse shock may be simply caused by regions in the outer blast wave that have been projected into the middle of a two-dimensional image. I've lined up yet another sponsor for this part of the show.
A sponsor?
Yes, Chicken John Rinaldi's Lame Excuses. You sometimes need a jar of lame excuses, and here's our spokesmodel, and she's going to bring some of the lame excuses over to Chicken John. Say you're so what you need is a jar of lame excuses.
And my lame excuse is, I just had an abortion.
Yay!
That's right. I recommend all of you get a jar of Chicken John's Lame Excuses, and it comes in red or white sauce. Thank you. Oh yeah, and just to give you a little highlight, looking forward for something in 2010, of course, the return of Space Jesus. Goodbye.
Yay!
Oh my God.
Magic morning in late November.
Yeah. You know what's really uncomfortable? What? Are you kidding me? What? Really? That's not... Is that me? What is that? How that work? It's me and the door girl. That's what it is. You know what's really uncomfortable? Yeah. So, Hal.
Now, the new year, reviving old desires, the thoughtful soul to solitude retires, where the white hand of Moses on the bough puts out, and Jesus from the ground suspires. Aram indeed is gone with all his rose, and Jamshid's seven-ringed cup, where? No one knows. But still a ruby kindles in the vine, and many a garden by the water glows. And David's lips are locked, but in divine high-piping Pelavi with wine, 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 red wine, The nightingale calls to the rose, that sallow cheek of hers to incarnadine. Come, fill the cup, and in the fires of spring, your winter garment of repentance fling. The bird of time has but a little way to flutter, and the bird is on the wing. Whether in Nishapur or Babylon, whether the cup with sweet or bitter run, the wine of life keeps oozing drop by drop. The leaves of life keep falling one by one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first show of the new year, of 2009. Perhaps small in its way, but great aches from little acorns grow, or something like that. Okay.
I'm not starting the show until K-Rob turns his fucking sign on.
Oh yes, let's have the sign on from the one-man radio station,
KROB, San Francisco.
Alright, now we can start. You know, it's hard to, when you're, okay, and don't ever, but if you have to.
yeah, of course. Okay, Jeffrey, maybe
Okay. Does,
So there is potential good in even such an apparent tautology.
for an encore.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
simmer down, everybody. Yeah,
that was
everything's
fun.
under control. It's all right. Move along. Nothing to see.
Whoa, okay. So,
Some cherries are good.
mind it out of the gutter? Okay. What is the most overrated poet in the English?
Okay. By American poet X.J. Kennedy. I guess I'll do this. In a prominent bar in Secaucus one day, rose a lady in skunk with a top-heavy sway, raised a knobby red finger, all turned from their beer, while with eyes bright as snow crust, she sang high and clear. Now who of you'd think from an eye-load of me that I once was a lady as fine as can be? Oh, I'd never sit down by a tumble-down drunk if it wasn't, my dears, for the high cost of junk. All the gents used to say that the white of my calf beat the down of the swan by a length and a half. In the kerchief of linen I caught to my nose, there never fell snot, but a little gold rose. I had 7 gold teeth and a toothpick of gold. My Virginia cheroot was a leaf of it rolled, and I'd light it each time with 1,000 in cash. Why, the bums used to fight if I flicked them an ash. Once the toast of the Biltmore, the belle of the Taft, I would drink bottled beer at the Drake, never draft, and dine at the Astor on Salisbury steak, with a clean tablecloth for each bite I did take. In a car like the Roxy I rolled to the track, a steel guitar trio, a bar in the back, and the wheels made no noise, they turned over so fast. Still, it took you 10 minutes to see me go past. When the horses bowed down to me that I might choose, I bet on 'em all, 'cause I hated to lose. Now I'm saddled each night for my butter and eggs, and the broken threads race down the backs of my legs. Let you keep in mind, girls, that your beauty must pass, like a lovely white clover that rests with its grass. Keep your bottoms off bar stools, and marry you young, or be left an old barrel with many a bung. For when time takes you out for a spin in his car, you'll be hard-pressed to stop him from going too far, and be left by the roadside for all your good deeds, 2 toadstools for tits, and a face full of weeds. All the house raised a cheer, but the man at the bar made a phone call, and up pulled a red patrol car. And she blew us a kiss as they copped her away from that prominent bar in Secaucus, NJ.
That was an American poem. There's no French poets writing poetry about Secaucus.
No, there aren't.